LeBron James somehow always manages to be on the wrong side of virtually every issue. It doesn't matter what it is. He is a complete idiot. He is
He's
a
over
low
everything on
IQ
social
idiot.
justice.
Yes, and he continuously tries to speak about these things, which he knows nothing about. And it's obvious that this dude hasn't watched probably any bit of the Kyle Rittenhouse trial because he's just assuming everything, just like a lot of other people do on the left. And when he tweeted this out, he got a lot of pushback for it. LeBron James, this is in response to Kyle Rittenhouse breaking down on the stand. A person who's 18 years old, was 17 when this happened, is reliving, what happened to cause him to have to take lives. And it quite obviously had a breakdown. LeBron James says, "What tears? I didn't see one. Man, knock it off. That boy ate some lemon heads before walking into court." And of course, that's ignoring the fact that a simple Google search would show you there are actually tears coming out of his eyes. It'd be pretty easy to see if LeBron James bothered to do any research at all. But people, he got absolutely destroyed for this. A lot of commentators destroyed him. A lot of his own fans destroyed him in the replies to this thing, a lot of which got reported falsely and ended up getting removed from Twitter, all for just criticizing LeBron James. That was their crime. And even Kyle Rittenhouse's own spokesperson came out and said, well, I think LeBron should probably be worried a little bit more about the Lakers. But if he actually was listening, he's been talking about social justice. He's been talking about the justice system. We could work together to get through some of these things because you're seeing failures in the justice system right now in this case. But no, LeBron James takes a shot because Kyle Rittenhouse is white. If Kyle Rittenhouse was black, LeBron James would have the opposite take. He would also do the same amount of research, which is zero. But because LeBron James is a racist, this is his take.
He is a terrible person. Go ahead, John.
He may read page one. Maybe page one.
Maybe page one. Yeah, he is a terrible, terrible person. And this is what we've been saying for a couple of years now. LeBron James has been protected and elevated by the media, and he has literally invented fake hate crimes that he has never been held accountable for. He was Jesse Smollett before Jesse Smollett was Jesse Smollett. Go look it up on Outkick the coverage. A lot of details that Clay Travis has covered over there about how LeBron and his boys had this situation out in LA and this racist graffiti or something like that. The police comes out there. They had already covered it up by the time the police got there. And in this ritzy neighborhood, there was no surveillance film, apparently, of it. No surveillance film. And then, of course, ESPN reported on it when it happened, like it was the worst thing in the history of existence. And then as soon as it was obvious that this was a lie, that just the media swept it under the rug, because this is who LeBron James is. And he tweeted out about it. He pushed the Jesse Smollett nonsense. He's pushed all these other fake hate crime stories. Yet every time you have something that's real and legit, he wants to get there and have one of the worst takes you have ever seen. And yeah, he got a lot of kickback for this, and rightfully so. This dude is an idiot. He is stupid. He is not a very good person. He is a really bad person, and he is bad for the league. He is bad for his entire generation. He's just a terrible human being, and I fucking hate him.
And when that happened, he was with the Cavaliers. And at that time, nobody even knew he had a home in LA. He was not even in LA. And it's kind of funny how his people wiped it up and then called the police.
Well, they also have security cameras, John. They have security cameras pointing to that gate. Never released that footage. That's very strange.
Yeah. I mean, a crime scene, why would you wipe up the actual crime before the police got there and just show them a picture? Doesn't that seem kind of like tampering with evidence to me?
Yes.
Maybe he tried to learn from Jesse Smollett, who decided to leave the noose on his neck. That didn't work out very well for him. Maybe he tried to switch it up a little bit.
Jesse Smollett, I believe the police asked, why you still got that around your neck?
He's like, the evidence.
And then it was like, if you see it, it's like way down here, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it just looked like a bad necktie.
Yeah.
but yeah, like LeBron James is bad for the black community. Like, let's just
He
be real.
is.
LeBron James is consistently lying to people, telling people that because of your skin color, you're hunted in the streets. What do things like that result in? It results in a black man in his city in Los Angeles, literally the next day, to go and attempt to assassinate 2 county sheriffs, right? Like that's what happens. That is what LeBron James, his nonsensical speak on social media about racial issues and making everything about race. That is a problem for anybody that follows him and listens to him.
Well, I mean, I can't remember the exact quote, so I'm gonna probably butcher it because Clay Travis has said this though. I believe it's statistically speaking, you're more likely to be struck by a lightning as an unarmed black man than you are to be shot by a police officer. And so he said, so can you imagine LeBron James when he says like, oh, we fear for our lives when we leave the house? He says, could you imagine if he sat up there and said, you know, every day I fear for my son's life when he walks out of the house because he may get struck by lightning? Statistically speaking, that's more likely than what LeBron James says will happen. Yeah. But the media gives him a pass. The media allows him to say these most ridiculous things. And they celebrate. Not only do they allow it, they celebrate him for it. Yeah. Like, that's how stupid it is. Yeah. And then that signal boost goes out there, and then all these other people eat it up and think it's true.
You're more likely to get struck by a train as a pedestrian than you are as a black man to get shot by the police unarmed.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Yeah. And nobody believes for a hot second that LeBron James is afraid to leave his house when he's actually has off-duty police officers guarding his homes. Not for 1 second. When I walk out of my house, I'm not in fear of anything. I live in a decent neighborhood outside of the city. I'm not afraid of anybody, hunting me down because I'm black. It doesn't make any sense because the only black people that are really, I guess you could say, quote unquote, being hunted down are what? Criminals. The same people LeBron James wants to praise. Your Jacob Blakes, your George Floyds, these people that engage in criminal activities. They're the only ones that need to be afraid.
You mean similar to the 2 white guys that Kyle Rittenhouse shot?
Criminals? Yeah, they were criminals. But, CNN, I mean, one of them, I can't even say it on YouTube what his crime was because
how about this? He dated single mothers with young boys so that he could have the young boys alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 of them.
Yeah.
5 of them. That's who that guy was.
And Tucker CNN has nothing to say about it.
Tucker said it best. Said it best. I love that line that Tucker said. And
Joseph Rosenbaum died doing exactly how he lived, trying to touch a minor.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that people like LeBron James are more worried about those guys than Kyle shows you everything you need to know about LeBron.